Hello, this is ElizabethCobb.com. I'm here with Brennan Scanlon, Executive Director of BNI and a trainer for the Referral Institute. Hello, Brennan.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you today?
Wonderful. It's starting to get warm in Cincinnati.
It sure is. Anything without snow on the ground and temperatures above freezing is good by me. I think this is a great opportunity for people to get out of their caves and enjoy the weather.
Exactly. Now, last week you spoke about visibility.
Yes.
And I would like to share with the audience, Elizabeth Cobb was not very visible in Cincinnati until the middle of December. And in result, the networking groups that I have joined and been very visible, dedicated, going to their meetings, now I have a voice in Cincinnati. And so could you give us a recap about visibility like we discussed?
Absolutely. And the three parts of the process would be visibility, credibility, and profitability. And I like the fact that you mentioned three groups that I'm connected with, because as mentioned last week, we talked about developing visibility is so that people know who you are and they know you know who they are. And in doing so, it's best to join in threes so you can get involved with 2 or 3 good organizations and really make your way. As a result, you've gotten along with those three, which is great.
Excellent. So we're doing a 3-part series. So today we're going to talk about credibility.
Yes.
So what is credibility?
Well, in the networking arena, with regard to trying to do business by referral with people you're networking with, visibility is, again, when you know who they are and they know who you are, and of course what each person does. But credibility is when you look at them and they look at you, and you are both trustworthy in each other's eyes. You're worthy of confidence with regard to your profession or their profession, and that's really what credibility is all about. Excellent.
Now, how is credibility established?
You know, it's a good question, and there's 2 ways that credibility is established. One pertains to your profession, and the other pertains to you as a person. Let's first go with the profession. Keep in mind that with any profession, there are different variations in risk to be referred, to be utilized. For instance, let's say you have a printer versus a financial planner. And for many of you watching, you may be in a profession similar. In printing, what's an average sleeve of business cards go for? On the low end, $40, $50, upwards of $100. Whereas a financial planner, you might have a $50,000 goal as a financial planner to have invested with you. So where's the risk? Well, there's a lot more risk with a financial planner than would be a printer. So the point is depending upon your profession, there may be more risk and more need for you to become more credible. So realize the fact that in credibility, your profession, the risk in doing business with you definitely sets in. Now, another thing is personal. Now, granted, professionally, you need to know your product or service. You need to be sharp at answering questions. You need to be current on whatever it is. But on the other hand, it comes down to you as an individual. No matter what your profession is, whether you are a printer or a financial advisor, you have to be a few things. If you join 2 or 3 networking events, you have to arrive on time. You have to stay throughout the course of that meeting. You have to not leave early. You have to make whatever the meetings are, whatever the expectations are. Within that meeting, you have to be polished. You have to stand. You have to make sure that you're presenting and speaking well. You have to do even the silly little things like not answer your phone when you're speaking to somebody, or you have to pay full attention to somebody. So in closing, what I would tell you is that credibility is essentially showing that there's a trust level between the two of you, because you have to be visible first to know who they are and what they do, but credible so that they become a little bit more confident, in fact a lot more confident, in passing a referral to you, which leads to profitability. That's next week.
And lastly, excellent advice, excellent. What are different ways to establish credibility?
What I would tell you is the more time you spend with the person that you are in visibility with, doing the things that you do so well, which would include following up on referrals you receive, returning phone calls, following up in the time frames that you mentioned that you will, and just being available, those are probably the best ways to build credibility.
And if I could have some input, I also believe following your word and honesty. So when you tell a customer, a client, or a business partner something that you're going to do, complete the task.
Absolutely. You said it best.
Well, thank you, Brennan.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I guess we'll see you next week for profitability.
Well, have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, you too.